What if the secret to lasting wealth isn't setting more goals, but building systems that create results even when you're not watching? Welcome to Growth Listen. Most people chase goals. They set targets, get motivated, push themselves hard for a few days, and then slip back into old patterns. The wealthy think very differently. Instead of depending on motivation, they build machines, repeatable systems that work consistently, quietly, and often automatically. This book explores that mindset. You'll learn why wealthy individuals focus on structure, discipline, and long-term processes rather than short-lived inspiration. You'll see how they design routines that remove friction, habits that multiply efficiency, and strategies that keep producing value day after day. The goal here is simple: to help you shift from chasing outcomes to building engines that create them. Once you understand how these machines work, your effort becomes more effective, your progress becomes predictable, and your success becomes sustainable. Chapter 1. Stop chasing goals and start building systems. You've been told your whole life to set goals. Write them down. Visualize them. Chase them. But here's the truth. Goal chasing is why you keep starting strong and finishing nowhere. Goals rely on emotion. Systems rely on structure. And structure wins every time. Look back at your life. Every time you set a goal, you felt a surge of motivation, a spike, a high. You told yourself, "This time I'm serious. This time I'm committed." But what happened? A few days passed. The high faded. Life got loud. Old patterns returned. Not because you're weak, not because you're lazy, but because you were relying on an emotion instead of a mechanism. The wealthy don't rely on emotional spikes. They rely on systems. They don't hope to succeed. They design the conditions that produce success on autopilot. Look at any successful founder. They don't build a company around a goal like sell 10,000 units. They build a repeatable process, a machine, so that selling 10,000 units becomes a natural byproduct of the system. Marketing systems, sales systems, fulfillment systems, review systems, customer retention systems. They create processes that work even when they're tired, stressed, or uninspired. That's the difference between you and them. You chase results. They build engines. Goals depend on mood. Systems do not. A goal requires you to feel like it. A system requires no such thing. Think about going to the gym. The average person says, "My goal is to work out 5 times a week." That's a goal chaser. But the systems builder sets up their environment, so the workout happens automatically. Clothes laid out the night before. Gym bag in the car. Workout playlist ready. Alarm across the room. Pre-scheduled time block. No friction. No decisions. Just action. When the alarm rings, there's nothing to negotiate. The path is already paved. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. If your current systems lead you to procrastinate, then procrastination is the outcome your system is trained to deliver. If your system leads you to eat poorly, then poor eating is the outcome your system is trained to deliver. If your system leads you to check your phone every 2 minutes, then distraction is the outcome your system is trained to deliver. Systems always win, whether they're designed intentionally or accidentally. Wealthy people understand this. They engineer their environment to support their identity, not sabotage it. Systems remove decision fatigue. Every decision drains you. Every choice takes energy. And eventually, you run out. This is why wealthy people minimize decisions. This is why Steve Jobs wore the same outfit every day. This is why top performers pre-plan their schedules. This is why creators batch their content. This is why investors automate their contributions. They remove choice from the equation. Decision fatigue is real. By noon, most people have already exhausted their discipline on meaningless micro-decisions. What should I eat? When should I start? What should I work on first? Should I do it today or tomorrow? Do I feel ready? These questions destroy momentum. Systems eliminate them. If your mornings are scripted, you don't have to think. You just execute. If your money is automatically invested, you don't need discipline. You just follow the plan. If your calendar dictates your priorities, you don't waste energy deciding. You simply show up. Systems protect you from yourself. They turn the battlefield of your mind into a smooth, predictable runway. Ask yourself, where in my life am I relying on willpower instead of structure? That's where your leaks are. That's where your life is bleeding momentum. The rich build structures, not wish lists. Goal chasers fantasize. Systems builders execute. The average person says, I want to make more money. I want to get healthier. I want to be more disciplined. Those are not strategies. Those are wishes. But wealthy people, they don't want anything. They construct the conditions that make the result unavoidable. The wealthy say, I will build a system that increases my income through automation, delegation, and leverage. The wealthy say, I will build a training routine that fits into my life, not one that depends on motivation. The wealthy say, I will build an environment where discipline is a default, not a heroic effort. They don't wait for a perfect day. They build a perfect system. And here's the real twist. A bad system will outperform a good intention every single time. You can intend to track your spending. But if your system is checking your account only when you remember, you will fail. You can intend to stay focused. But if your system is keeping your phone on the desk, you will fail. You can intend to eat clean. But if your system is keeping junk food in the house, you will fail. Success is not about desire. It's about architecture. Design beats willpower. Every time. Goal chasers versus systems builders in real life. Let's compare them. A goal chaser wakes up and asks, what should I do today? A systems builder wakes up and knows exactly what happens next. A goal chaser tracks results. A systems builder tracks actions. A goal chaser waits for motivation. A systems builder waits for nothing because the system triggers the action. A goal chaser breaks down when life gets stressful. A systems builder keeps moving because the process is already in motion. A goal chaser thinks in weeks. A systems builder thinks in decades. You must decide which one you want to be, because your life is already giving you the answer. Your results reveal your systems. Your habits reveal your structure. Your outcomes reveal your architecture. What you must do now. Here's your first step. Simple, direct, non-negotiable. Pick one area of your life and build a system around it. One system, one structure, one process. Not 10, not 5, just one. Choose something that matters. Your fitness, your money, your business, your productivity, your morning routine, your focus, your sleep. Then build a system that removes choice, removes friction, removes excuses. Make the action inevitable. Make the behavior automatic. Make the success predictable. This is how wealthy people think. This is how wealthy people operate. This is how wealthy people win. Stop chasing goals. Start building systems. Because the moment you design a structure that works without emotional permission, you become unstoppable. Chapter 2. Design your life like a business. If you want to become wealthy, you must stop treating your life like a random collection of days and start treating it like a business. Not a hobby, not a side project, a business. Wealthy people don't stumble into success. They design it. They build systems, structures, and processes around the 3 assets every human has: time, energy, and attention. Those are your departments. Those are your profit centers. And the way you manage them determines the trajectory of your life. Most people have no structure, no systems, no workflow. They just wake up and improvise. But you cannot improvise your way into wealth. You must engineer it. Your life has departments. Act like a CEO. A business has departments: operations, finance, marketing, product development, human resources. Your life has departments too. You just don't treat them that way. You have a time department, and it's probably unprofitable. You have an energy department, and it's likely overworked with no strategy. You have an attention department, and it's being hijacked by apps, notifications, and other people's priorities. The wealthy don't allow this. They manage their departments like CEOs. They audit their time. They track their energy leaks. They protect their attention with ruthless boundaries. Ask yourself, if my life were a business, would I invest in it? Would I trust me as a CEO? Most people would have to say no, because they behave like employees of their impulses instead of executives of their future. But this chapter changes that. Audit your life the way a CEO audits a company. Every great company performs audits: financial audits, product audits, operational audits, risk audits. The wealthy do the same with their personal lives. Here's the question they ask: where am I wasting time, losing energy, or giving attention to low-value tasks? They look at their life like an investor. They identify inefficiencies. They cut what's unprofitable. They reinforce what compounds. You must do the same. Perform a time audit. For 1 week, track every hour. Not to judge yourself, to understand your reality. You cannot optimize what you refuse to measure. Perform an energy audit. List the activities that drain you versus the activities that strengthen you. Adjust accordingly. Your energy is a currency. Spend it where it yields high return. Perform an attention audit. Your attention is the gateway to your life. Every notification, every pointless scroll, every low-quality conversation. These are taxes on your potential. Reduce them. A CEO doesn't let the company leak resources. You can't either. Workflow beats willpower. You've spent your whole life relying on willpower. And where has it led you? Inconsistency, stress, guilt, frustration. Stop trying to be disciplined. Start designing workflows that make discipline unnecessary. Warren Buffett follows the no list. He writes down 25 goals and then circles the top 5. Everything else, everything, is the no list. He eliminates decisions. He eliminates distractions. He protects focus by creating structure. Jeff Bezos follows the principle of eliminating unnecessary choices. He reduces decision fatigue by keeping his routine simple, predictable, and automated. He spends mental energy only on decisions with massive impact. That's workflow. That's design. That's leverage. You need workflows like this, not intentions, not wishes. Workflows. A workflow is a predefined sequence of actions that removes friction. It tells you what to do next. It's your personal operating system. Examples: morning workflow: wake, hydrate, move, review daily priorities, deep work block, no phone until after the first win of the day. Money workflow: automatic savings, automatic investments, automatic bill pay, weekly financial review, monthly strategy session with yourself. Focus workflow: phone in another room, predefined work blocks, single tasking boundaries for interruptions, end of day shutdown ritual. These workflows outperform motivation every single time. If you don't design workflows, you will always be at the mercy of your mood. Think in processes at scale. Here's a wealth principle you must tattoo onto your mind. If what you do cannot be delegated, automated, or repeated, it's a hobby, not a wealth machine. You must learn to think in systems, not tasks. Processes, not effort. Scale, not strain. This is where most people fail. They try to work harder. But wealth has nothing to do with effort. It has everything to do with replication. One-time actions don't create wealth. Repeatable systems do. The wealthy ask, how do I build a process that continues producing results even when I'm not there? The poor ask, how can I grind harder? Grinding harder won't save you. Systems will. Start by identifying the tasks in your life that can be 1. Automated. Examples: bill payment, savings and investing, content scheduling, email filtering, health reminders, calendar blocks, follow-up scripts. Automation creates freedom. 2. Delegated. If someone else can do it at 80% quality, delegate it. You must protect your time for high-profit tasks. Not chores, not errands, not low-level admin work. Delegation creates leverage. 3. Repeated. Any action you must repeat manually is a problem. Document it. Systemize it. Turn it into a standard operating procedure, your personal SOP. Repetition creates scale. This is how wealthy people think. This is how they build machines. This is how they multiply their time. The mindset shift you must adopt now. Stop thinking like a consumer. Stop thinking like an employee. Stop thinking like a person who simply exists day by day. Start thinking like a business owner. Start thinking like a CEO. Start thinking like someone who manages their life with intention, precision, and strategy. Ask yourself, what system can I build today that will save me 1,000 decisions tomorrow? Because that's what this is all about. Engineering a life that carries you forward instead of holding you back. When your life is built like a business, with workflows, audits, processes, and strategic focus, you stop living in reaction mode. You stop falling behind. You stop wasting potential. And you start operating from power, from clarity, from structure, from leverage. The wealthy don't live by chance. They live by design. Now it's your turn. Chapter 3. Install identity-based habits. If you want lasting change, stop trying to force new behaviors with motivation and start by changing the identity that drives those behaviors. Because here's the truth. You act in alignment with who you believe you are. Always, without exception. You can try a new habit for a week. You can feel inspired for a month. You can sprint for a season. But if the identity underneath your behavior stays the same, you will always return to your old patterns. Identity creates consistency. Identity creates discipline. Identity creates direction. Wealthy thinkers understand this. They don't act from goals. They act from identity. They don't say, I want to become successful. They say, I am the type of person who builds success as a byproduct of my habits. That difference is everything. Identity before action. Most people approach change backward. They start with the action. I'm going to wake up early. I'm going to save money. I'm going to be more focused. I'm going to work out every day. But approaching it this way guarantees inconsistency, because behavior that goes against your identity always collapses. If you believe you're someone who struggles with money, you will sabotage your finances. If you believe you're someone who lacks discipline, you will break your commitments. If you believe you are inconsistent, you will remain inconsistent, no matter how motivated you feel in the moment. Here's the principle wealthy people live by. Identity drives behavior. Behavior drives results. Poor people look at results and try to change behavior. Wealthy people look at identity and build everything from there. Stop thinking about what you want to do. Start thinking about who you want to be. The power of I am the type of person who. This sentence is the most powerful tool for rewiring your mind. Not affirmations, not hype, not motivational speeches. Just one simple identity-defining sentence. I am the type of person who. Because that sentence bypasses motivation and rewrites the operating system of your mind. Listen carefully. Your brain craves consistency. It wants your actions to match your identity. So if you rewrite the identity, the behavior automatically follows. Here are examples of identity-level habits. I am the type of person who saves money before I spend it. I am the type of person who does not break promises to myself. I am the type of person who works before I relax. I am the type of person who keeps a clean environment. I am the type of person who invests in my future every day. I am the type of person who moves my body daily. I am the type of person who finishes what I start. I am the type of person who does hard things without complaining. This is not positive thinking. This is psychological engineering. You are giving your brain an identity it wants to remain consistent with. And once you anchor that identity, the habit becomes automatic. Real example, automatic savers. Let me give you a real-world example that proves the power of identity over income. Automatic savers, regardless of income, end up wealthier than people who earn more but save inconsistently. Why? Because saving is not something they try to do. Saving is part of who they are. An automatic saver says, I'm the type of person who always pays myself first. And their entire financial behavior aligns with that identity. It doesn't matter if they make $40,000 or $400,000. The identity overrides the circumstance. Meanwhile, someone who says, I'm terrible with money will waste every raise, every bonus, every opportunity, because the behavior always bends around the identity. The wealthy understand this. They build wealth not through luck, not through income, but through identity. Wealth is a habit, and habit is identity. Identity outlives motivation. Motivation dies quickly. Identity does not. Motivation comes and goes. Identity stays. Motivation gets you started. Identity keeps you going. When you rely on motivation, you'll only be consistent on your good days. When you rely on identity, you stay consistent every day. If you identify as someone who is disciplined, you act whether you feel like it or not. If you identify as someone who takes care of their body, you train even on low-energy days. If you identify as someone who creates value, you put in the work even when no one is watching. Identity-based habits survive stress. They survive boredom. They survive resistance. They survive the emotional storms that wipe out people who rely on motivation. Once a habit becomes part of your identity, resistance dies. The 3-step process to install identity-based habits. Here's how you build identity the same way wealthy thinkers do. Step 1. Choose a single identity shift. Not 10, not 5, 1. Identity rewiring is powerful but requires focus. Pick something that would transform your life if it were simply true about you. For example, I am the type of person who follows through. I am the type of person who takes care of my money. I am the type of person who works deeply and without distraction. I am the type of person who shows up on time. I am the type of person who never quits on myself. Choose the identity first. Behavior will follow. Step 2. Attach the identity to a daily action. Identity must be reinforced with action. A single action. Simple. Consistent. Non-negotiable. If your identity is, I am the type of person who saves, your action is automatic daily or weekly savings, even if small. If your identity is, I am the type of person who prioritizes health, your action is daily movement, even 10 minutes. If your identity is, I am the type of person who creates, your action is daily writing, building, crafting, something that produces value. The action locks in the identity. Repetition cements it. Step 3. Remove the opposing identity. You can't install a new identity while feeding the old one. You must let the old version of you die. That means ending the stories. I'm inconsistent. I'm easily distracted. I'm bad with money. I'm not a morning person. I'm not disciplined. Stop repeating these lies. Stop reinforcing old limitations. Stop worshiping your past failures. You don't rise by adding new habits. You rise by releasing the identities that keep you stuck. The new you is built in small steps. Identity is not something you wait for. Identity is something you build, brick by brick, action by action, day by day. It is not dramatic. It is not flashy. It is not emotional. But it is powerful. It is permanent. It is life-changing. Because once your identity changes, your habits change. Your standards change. Your environment changes. Your decisions change. Your trajectory changes. And your life changes. This is how wealthy thinkers think. This is how disciplined people stay disciplined. This is how successful people stay successful. Identity first. Action second. Results third. That is the path. That is the formula. Follow it relentlessly. Chapter 4. Make time heat-seeking and opportunity-attracting. Time is the great equalizer, but how you use it is what separates the wealthy from the overwhelmed. The wealthy don't manage time. They assign it. They direct it. They weaponize it. Every hour has a job. Every block has a purpose. Everything else is noise. Most people drift through their day reacting to whatever hits them. Notifications, messages, tasks, drama, problems, interruptions. They burn hours without knowing where those hours went. They bleed energy through open loops and loose boundaries. Then they wonder why their life feels chaotic, stagnant, or directionless. Wealthy people operate differently. They treat time the way a general treats troops, precise, intentional, and mission-driven. They allocate it with force. They protect it with rules. They invest it with expectation. Time becomes heat-seeking. It moves toward opportunity instead of distraction. This is what you must build. The wealthy don't manage time, they assign it. Time management is for people who feel out of control. Assignment is for people who take control. Assignment means this. You decide what each hour is responsible for. You give it a job. You give a mission. You give it a purpose. No hour floats. No hour wanders. No hour is left to chance. Here's the rule. If you don't assign your time, someone else will. Your boss will. Your friends will. Your family will. Your phone will. Your impulses will. Your laziness will. Your anxieties will. Your distractions will. The world is full of people and algorithms waiting to hijack your attention. If you don't guard your time with intention, you will lose it to the agendas of others. The wealthy understand this. They treat time like money, allocated, budgeted, and tracked. They don't wake up and see what happens. Their schedule is a strategy, not a suggestion. If you want a breakthrough, this is your first shift. Stop living by availability. Start living by assignment. Create opportunity zones. Most breakthroughs don't happen when you're drowning in noise. They happen when your mind finally has enough quiet to hear itself think. This is why writers create writing cabins. Why CEOs block entire days for vision work. Why top athletes isolate before big events. Why innovators obsess over uninterrupted time. Because opportunity requires space. Insight requires silence. Breakthroughs require depth. You need what I call opportunity zones, deliberate blocks of uninterrupted focus where the only job is to think, build, solve, create, and push your future forward. This is not time for email, not time for meetings, not time for admin work, not time for errands. Opportunity zones are sacred. They are protected. They are non-negotiable. Think of them as the heat-seeking hours, the hours where your best ideas land, the hours where momentum forms, the hours where most of your results will come from. Because the highest value work in your life happens in silence, not chaos. It happens in focus, not multitasking. It happens in depth, not in constant motion. Here's the truth. If you don't have time for deep work, you don't have time for success. How to create opportunity zones. Opportunity zones don't appear on their own. You build them. You carve them out. You defend them. Here's how. 1. Choose a consistent daily block. Pick one block. Same time. Every day. 30 minutes minimum. 2 hours ideal. This block becomes your private workshop for growth. Your lab. Your creative power zone. Your strategic engine. Make it predictable. Make it ritual. Make it automatic. 2. Remove every source of interruption. Silence your phone. Close tabs. No email. No notifications. No messaging. No social media. Nothing that pulls you out of depth. Opportunity requires immersion. Your environment must reflect that. 3. Enter with a clear intention. Opportunity zones need purpose. Don't sit down hoping inspiration magically appears. Enter with a mission. Today I will fix this problem. Today I will build this system. Today I will outline this project. Today I will refine this skill. The intention guides your focus. Focus creates momentum. Momentum creates opportunity. Schedule constraints create freedom. Most people believe freedom means doing whatever they want, whenever they want. Wrong. That's not freedom. That's drift. That's chaos. That's entropy. Real freedom comes from structure. When your schedule is loose, your life is tight and stressful. When your schedule is tight, your life becomes loose and free. The tighter the structure, the greater the output, the lower the stress, the clearer the mind, the stronger the results. Constraints force clarity. Constraints eliminate decision fatigue. Constraints remove uncertainty. Constraints reduce emotional resistance. This is why top performers use strict routines. This is why athletes train at the same time every day. This is why CEOs have non-negotiable morning blocks. This is why creators use rituals to enter flow. Structure doesn't limit you. Structure liberates you. Because when your time is structured, your mind can finally breathe. You're no longer juggling chaos. You're executing a system. The truth about time: most people are not short on time. They're short on direction. Your problem isn't time. Your problem is drift. Your problem is distraction. Your problem is confusion. Your problem is lack of intentionality. You don't need more hours. You need fewer leaks. Hours disappear because you don't assign them. Energy disappears because you don't protect it. Focus disappears because you don't direct it. Here's the tough truth. You already have enough time. You're just spending it wrong. You're spending it on low-value tasks. You're spending it on other people's priorities. You're spending it on numbing, escaping, and avoiding. You're spending it in default mode instead of deliberate mode. Until you change this, your life won't change. You must start thinking like a time investor, not a time consumer. Consumers passively use time. Investors allocate it with purpose. Every hour you spend should fall into one of three categories. 1. Growth hours. These are your opportunity zones. The hours that build your future. The hours that expand your potential. The hours that compound over time. 2. Maintenance hours. Basic life operations. Necessary but not transformative. Must be constrained and systematized. 3. Recovery hours. Rest, recharge, enjoyment. Not escapism, restoration. Recovery is strategic, not accidental. Wealthy thinkers keep these categories separate. They never let maintenance spill into growth. They never let recovery turn into avoidance. They never allow distractions to dominate their day. They treat time like a portfolio. They allocate it to maximize return. The rule of non-negotiable hours. Here is a rule wealthy people live by. Your most important hours must be protected at all costs. Not most days. Every day. Non-negotiable means you don't move it. You don't shrink it. You don't justify missing it. You don't let others invade it. You don't negotiate with your feelings. Non-negotiable means non-negotiable, because if your most important hours are optional, your future becomes optional. And you cannot afford to treat your future like an option. The future you want is built in blocks. Your future is not built in random minutes. It is built in deliberate blocks. Blocks of focus, blocks of silence, blocks of strategy, blocks of creative energy, blocks of disciplined effort. Every major transformation in your life will come from a period of deep, uninterrupted focus. Every skill you master, every business you build, every breakthrough you create, every opportunity you attract, every level you ascend, they all come from assigned time, structured time, protected time, heat-seeking time. You don't need more time. You need better time. You need directed time. You need time that works for you, not against you. Make your time a weapon. Make your schedule a strategy. Make your hours opportunity attracting. This is how the wealthy win. This is how you will win. Chapter 5. Build money machines, not paychecks. Most people spend their entire lives chasing paychecks, trading hours, trading energy, trading presence, trading their potential for a predictable number printed on a piece of paper. Paychecks are linear. You show up, you earn. You don't show up, you starve. This is the treadmill the world is stuck on. This is the loop that drains time, limits freedom, and caps income. The wealthy do something different. They don't chase paychecks. They build machines. Machines that work when they rest. Machines that scale without permission. Machines that compound without supervision. Machines that generate money, leverage, influence, and opportunity. A money machine is simple. An asset that produces without your constant presence. That's it. That's the difference between being busy for life and building a life that works for you. You are here to learn how to build machines, not moments. Systems, not spikes. Assets, not chores. Wealth, not wages. A paycheck is linear. A machine is exponential. Most people think more effort equals more money. This is only true at the bottom levels. This is employee thinking, not wealth thinking. Here's the harsh truth. If your income only grows when you work harder, you don't have a wealth path. You have a labor path. You have a survival path. You have a path that guarantees burnout, resentment, and exhaustion. Wealth scales. Labor doesn't. A paycheck is a one-to-one exchange. A machine is a one-to-many multiplier. A paycheck is dependent. A machine is independent. A paycheck is survival. A machine is freedom. The people you admire, founders, creators, investors, entrepreneurs, they didn't become wealthy because they work harder. They became wealthy because they built something that worked without them. This is a shift you must make. Money machines, what they really are. Money machines are not always physical. They are not always complicated. They are not always expensive. A money machine is anything that generates recurring or leverage value without your constant involvement. Examples include digital products, online courses, templates, guides, paid newsletters, membership communities. You build it once. It sells forever. Content systems, YouTube channels, blogs, podcasts, short-form video pipelines. Content works while you sleep. Content compounds. Content attracts. Automated services, agencies, consulting systems, software, funnels. You build a process. You hire or automate the execution. Rental assets, real estate, vehicles, equipment, land leasing. You acquire the asset. The asset produces without your presence. Investment engines, index funds, dividend stocks, REITs, automated trading systems. Your money works harder than your labor ever could. This is the rule. If it can make money when you're not touching it, it is a machine. if it requires your constant presence, it is a job. Your life's mission is simple: build machines, reduce dependence, increase leverage, expand freedom. The wealthy think scalable from day one. Wealthy thinkers ask one question before they start anything: will this scale? Before they build, before they commit, before they invest their time. They filter opportunities through scale, not effort. They look for multipliers, not tasks. They search for leverage, not labor. Most people do the opposite. They jump into commitments without thinking about scale. They create work for themselves. They build cages. They create obligations disguised as opportunities. Wealthy thinkers design for future capacity. Poor thinkers design for present comfort. This is why rich people get richer. They stack scalable systems. They stack assets. They stack machines. Poor people stack tasks. They stack chores. They stack responsibilities. Your future depends on choosing the right stack. Small, boring systems build big, exciting results. You want to know the real secret to wealth? It's not brilliance. It's not intensity. It's not massive bursts of effort. It's consistency, repetition, accumulation. Systems so simple they feel almost trivial. The wealthy understand a crucial truth. Small automated behaviors beat big one-time efforts every single time. They focus on tiny systems that operate daily. Systems that compound silently. Systems that do the heavy lifting in the background. A small automatic savings rule builds more wealth than a dozen emotional money resolutions. A simple content pipeline outperforms sporadic creative chaos. A basic rental property outproduces years of hoping for a raise. A predictable email automation makes more money than 100 frantic launches. Wealth is a byproduct of systems. Systems are a byproduct of structure. Structure is a byproduct of intentional design. Most people dislike the boring part, so they never achieve the exciting part. You cannot skip the structure. You cannot shortcut the consistency. You cannot bypass the small systems that produce big results. What you must stop doing right now to build money machines, you must stop these behaviors immediately. 1. Stop trading time for every dollar. If you're only paid when you're present, you're stuck. Your presence should be optional, not required. 2. Stop relying on emotional motivation. Machines run whether you feel like working or not. Your wealth must not depend on your mood. 3. Stop building projects that die when you stop touching them. One-time events don't build wealth. Repeatable systems do. These are the habits that keep people broke, financially and mentally. What you must start doing immediately. Here is your new formula. Here is your new operating system. Here is the blueprint that builds freedom. 1. Build one machine at a time. Not 3. Not 5. 1. Pick a machine type: digital, content, rental, automated, investment. Then give it your full focus until it operates without your daily touch. 2. Automate the predictable. Any task you repeat more than twice should be automated or delegated. Your time must be reserved for creation, strategy, and growth. 3. Document your processes. Every machine needs instructions. Write your steps. Record your workflows. Turn chaos into clarity. This is how systems scale. This is how teams replace you. This is how income detaches from labor. 4. Invest early, even when the amount is small. Wealth doesn't come from large sums. It comes from long timelines. Small money, consistently invested, becomes a giant. 5. Prioritize recurring revenue. One-time income is survival. Recurring income is wealth. Make your business model predictable, renewable, and compounding. The mindset shift. You are the architect, not the laborer. Right now, you may feel like a worker, someone who does tasks. someone who grinds for survival, someone who reacts to the world instead of shaping it. But wealthy thinking requires a new identity. You are the architect. You are the designer. You are the engineer of systems that replace your labor. The rich don't work harder. They make their systems work harder. You will never outwork a machine, but you can build one. And once you build one, you can build another, and another, and another, until your life is supported by an ecosystem you engineered. The rule: set it up so it works without you. A machine is complete when it runs without your daily presence, it earns without your emotional effort, it grows without your constant supervision. It produces more than it consumes, it frees more time than it requires, it generates opportunities instead of demanding them. When your income works harder than you do, your life finally becomes truly yours. Your job is not to work for money. Your job is to build what money works for. Machines create freedom. Paychecks create dependence. You must make a decision today. Continue living reactively or start building proactively. Continue earning linearly or start compounding exponentially. Continue trading hours or start creating assets. This chapter is your turning point. Stop chasing paychecks. Start building machines. This is how wealth is created. This is how freedom is engineered. This is how your new life begins. Chapter 6. Master the boring work, the wealth multiplier. Everyone wants the results. Almost no one wants the repetition. Everyone wants the breakthrough. Almost no one wants the boredom. Everyone wants the transformation. Almost no one wants the monotony that produces it. This is why most people stay average. They quit the moment the work stops being exciting. They give up the moment the novelty wears off. They disappear the moment progress requires discipline instead of dopamine. But the wealthy, they excel at repetition. They embrace monotony. They respect routine. They seek consistency over intensity because they know the truth. Mastery is built in boredom. Wealth is built in monotony. Excellence is built in repetition. The same actions done daily, done better, done with focus, done without negotiation. This is the multiplier. You cannot rise to the level of your goals. You sink to the level of your habits. And habits are built through boring, predictable, repetitive work. The wealthy understand that mastery lies in monotony. Look at anyone who has achieved extraordinary success. Elite athletes, top performers, high-level creators, world-class founders, peak professionals. They all have one thing in common. They do the same things over and over without complaint, without resistance, without the need for excitement. A boxer throws the same jab 1,000,000 times. A pianist plays the same scales daily. A writer writes even when the page feels empty. A CEO reviews the same metrics every morning. A coder refines the same systems endlessly. A marketer tracks the same data week after week. What looks repetitive to the outside world is actual refinement. What looks boring is actually mastery. What looks monotonous is actually momentum. The wealthy don't chase stimulation. They chase improvement. They understand that repetition is not punishment. It is power. Boring work compounds. Boring work is deceptive. It feels small. It feels insignificant. It feels easy to skip just for today. But boring work compounds. Quietly, relentlessly, mathematically. It is the invisible engine behind visible success. Examples of boring work that builds wealth. Daily market review, 10 minutes a day, compounds into years of financial literacy and better investment decisions than people who only check in during crises. Content batching, creating consistently, on a schedule, compounds into an army of assets that work while you sleep. Lead tracking and follow-up, keeping a simple spreadsheet, updated daily, generates more revenue than fancy branding ever will. Budgeting and expense oversight. Watching the little leaks prevents the ship from sinking. Wealthy people know every dollar needs a home. Skills training. Studying your craft a little each day compounds into mastery that beginners mistake for talent. These activities are not glamorous. They are not dramatic. They don't release dopamine. They don't give instant gratification, but they build the foundation of freedom. You want explosive results, but you refuse the repetitive behaviors that create them. That ends today. Your relationship with boredom determines your wealth ceiling. This is the part you don't want to hear. Your ability to tolerate boredom is directly tied to your earning potential. Why? Because wealth is not built by occasional inspiration. It's built by sustained consistency. People who crave constant novelty never build anything substantial. They start new projects, new habits, new routines, then abandon them as soon as the work feels repetitive. But repetition is where results happen. Repetition is where identity shifts. Repetition is where mastery forms. Repetition is where leverage is born. If you avoid boredom, you avoid discipline. If you avoid discipline, you avoid growth. If you avoid growth, you avoid wealth. The boredom is the gateway, and most people never walk through it. The world has trained you to fear boredom. The modern world is engineered to destroy focus. Constant notifications, instant entertainment, unlimited stimulation, hyperspeed novelty. Your brain has become addicted to distraction. It has forgotten how to stay with one thing long enough to grow. It has forgotten how to persist through monotony. It has forgotten the value of long-term effort. The wealthy take their power back. They master boredom instead of running from it. They use it as a training tool, a conditioning agent, a mental sharpening stone. When something feels boring, they don't stop. They lean in, because boredom signals growth. Boredom signals mastery. Boredom signals scaling. The boring work is where your future is built. Let me be blunt. Your future will be decided by the boring work you avoid today, the workout you skip, the review you delay, the call you don't make, the content you don't publish, the lead you don't follow up on, the process you don't document, the habit you break just this once. Every tiny action compounds. Every tiny omission also compounds. Your habits are either building your wealth or destroying it. There is no neutral. The people who rise are not the smartest, not the most gifted, not the most connected. They are the most consistent. Here's how to build a high tolerance for boring work. 1. Commit to fixed daily non-negotiables. Choose 3 small, boring tasks you will complete every day, not when you feel like it. Every day. This builds discipline. This builds identity. This builds momentum. 2. Create visual proof of consistency. Track your habits. Use a calendar. Use a checkmark system. Use anything that keeps the streak alive. Momentum fuels action. Action fuels confidence. Confidence fuels results. 3. Stop expecting excitement. Boring is normal. Boring is necessary. Stop looking for motivation. Start building systems that don't require it. When work becomes automatic, you win. 4. Focus on process over outcome. Don't obsess over results. Obsess over repetition. The results will follow. Process is predictable. Results are variable. Trust the process. 5. Make boredom your competitive advantage. Most people quit when things get repetitive. Good. Let them quit. This is where you pass them. This is where wealth separates from wishful thinking. What you must stop doing immediately. Stop chasing stimulation. Stop doing easy when it's new and quitting when it's routine. Stop thinking boredom means something is wrong. Stop waiting for motivation to return. Stop treating discipline as optional. Every time you avoid repetition, you stay stuck. What you must start doing immediately. Choose a handful of daily boring tasks tied to your goals. Automate them as much as possible. Remove emotion from the process. Execute anyway. Track your consistency visibly. Celebrate the discipline, not the dopamine. This is how wealthy thinkers operate. Not intensely, but consistently. Not wildly, but deliberately. Not emotionally, but structurally. Your breakthrough lives on the other side of boredom. Your transformation hides inside routine. Your wealth is locked behind monotony. The question is simple. Can you repeat the boring work long enough to become unrecognizable? Can you show up without needing excitement? Can you persist without needing stimulation? Can you commit without needing constant reward? Most people can't. That's why they stay average. But you are building systems. You are building machines. You are building a life of wealth, freedom, and leverage. Master the boring work, and you master your future. Chapter 7. Turn discipline into a machine. People talk about discipline like it's a personality trait, like some people were born with it, like it's a natural gift reserved for the chosen few. That's a lie. Discipline is not who you are. Discipline is what you design. It's the byproduct of your systems. It's the outcome of your environment. It's the natural result of the cues you set up around you. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. If your systems are weak, you will be weak. If your systems are strong, you will be strong. It's that simple. Most people fail because they rely on willpower. Willpower is unstable. It's inconsistent. It's emotional. It fluctuates with stress, sleep, mood, and circumstance. But systems don't care about your emotions. Systems don't get tired. Systems don't negotiate. Systems make discipline automatic. The wealthy don't try harder. They structure better. Here's the truth no one wants to hear. You're not struggling because you're lazy. You're struggling because your environment is built for failure. The wealthy understand this. They don't rely on motivation. They don't rely on inspiration. They don't rely on inner fire. They rely on guardrails. They rely on triggers. They rely on pre-built workflows that make success the default and failure the anomaly. Rich in money or not, the wealthy are always rich in structure. They remove the friction that destroys consistency. They engineer their surroundings to support their goals. They eliminate choices until the right choice is the only choice. You must do the same. Discipline becomes automatic when you remove choice. Choice is the enemy of consistency. Every option is a decision. Every decision is friction. Every friction point burns energy. The wealthy remove choices. They do not wake up and decide what to do. The decision was made yesterday. The plan was laid out. The resources were prepared. The environment was aligned. If you are deciding in the moment, you are already behind. Think of elite athletes. Think of world-class performers. Think of high-level executives. Their routines are not spontaneous. They're engineered. Real example. A professional sprinter doesn't wake up and think about training. Their gear is laid out the night before. Their warm-up is pre-programmed. Their meals are pre-prepped. Their training block is on the schedule. Their coach expects them. Their identity enforces the rest. It's harder not to train than it is to train. That's what discipline as a machine looks like. The cue action reward loop. Humans are predictable. We operate in loops. Every habit has 3 parts. Cue, action, reward. If you want discipline to become automatic, you must engineer these 3 elements. 1. Cues. These are your triggers. Putting your workout clothes on the bed, leaving your journal on your pillow, setting your laptop on the table the night before, pre-writing your task list, so the next day begins with clarity, blocking time in your calendar and treating it like a contract. Cues tell your brain, this is what happens now. 2. Action. This is your execution. You don't need massive action. You need consistent action. Small, repeatable wins that build momentum. Action must be friction-free. If it takes more than 10 seconds to start, it's too complicated. Simplify ruthlessly. 3. Reward. Your brain needs closure. It needs a win. It needs a signal that the behavior was valuable. But here's the trick. The reward doesn't need to be external. The reward can simply be completion, a check mark, a streak, a clean calendar. Progress itself is a reward. You just have to train your brain to feel it. Design discipline. Don't hope for it. Hope is not a plan. Hoping to feel motivated tomorrow is the same as planning to fail. Discipline must be designed in advance. Ask yourself, what tasks must be done every day? What materials do I need? How can I prepare them in advance? What friction can I eliminate? What triggers can I set up? What cues will start the loop? The work should begin before you wake up. Your future self should step into a pre-built success flow. When the environment demands excellence, you comply. Make failure nearly impossible. The wealthy don't just plan for success. They plan for resistance. They plan for fatigue. They plan for the days motivation is low. They plan for the stress, the interruptions, the chaos. They make failure hard. Examples of failure proofing. 1. Remove the escape routes. Cancel subscriptions that waste time. Delete apps that steal attention. Block websites during work hours. 2. Create consequences. Missed a task? Donate money to a cause you hate. Accountability snaps attention back to discipline. 3. Lower the bar but never skip. If you can't do a full workout, do 5 minutes. If you can't write a full page, write 1 sentence. If you can't film a full video, record 1 clip. Never break the chain. Consistency beats intensity every time. 4. Surround yourself with aligned people. Your environment includes people. If your circle normalizes mediocrity, your standards will collapse with them. Success must feel normal, not unusual. Automation is the highest form of discipline. Once a system works, automate it. Automation doesn't just save time, it eliminates inconsistency. Examples. Auto-invest at the start of every month. Auto-transfer money to savings. Auto-schedule content publishing. Auto-backup your files. Auto-renew your tools and workflows. Auto-organize tasks with templates and checklists. Every automated process frees cognitive energy. Every freed cognitive energy strengthens your discipline. Every strengthened discipline compounds into power. Automation is not laziness. Automation is leverage. Automation is wisdom. Automation is wealth infrastructure. The wealthy automate because they know systems beat willpower 100% of the time. What you must stop doing immediately. Stop trying to feel motivated. Stop relying on emotional energy to work. Stop improvising your day. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop assuming discipline is a personality trait. Stop pretending your environment doesn't shape your behavior. You are losing because you're designing your days poorly. Not because you lack talent. Not because you lack willpower. Because your systems are weak. What you must start doing immediately. Pre-decide your actions the night before. Use cues to start habits automatically. Build an environment that supports your goals. Make the right choice friction-free. Make the wrong choice inconvenient. Track your streaks, your wins, your routines. Automate everything repeatable. Reduce every workflow to its simplest version. Discipline becomes easy when everything around you supports it. You are not building a habit. You are building a system. You are not building routine. You are building a machine. Discipline is not an internal battle. It's an external design. It's architecture. It's engineering. It's structure. When you build the right systems, discipline is automatic. When discipline is automatic, consistency becomes inevitable. When consistency becomes inevitable, success becomes guaranteed. Your life changes when you stop trying harder and start designing smarter. Turn discipline into a machine, and that machine will build your freedom. Chapter 8. Remove friction. Remove resistance. Success doesn't begin with motivation. It begins with friction, the presence of it, or the removal of it. Every action you take has a cost. Sometimes it's time. Sometimes it's energy. Sometimes it's attention. But most of the time, it's friction. Invisible, silent, unnoticed, but powerful enough to derail your entire life. The wealthy understand this. They obsess over friction because they know the truth that most people ignore. Tiny obstacles kill momentum faster than big problems. Big problems are obvious. You can see them coming. You can prepare for them. But tiny obstacles? They sneak up on you. They steal minutes. They steal focus. They steal consistency. And then they steal your potential. Your job, the job of anyone who wants to rise, is simple. Remove friction. Remove resistance. Make the desired action easier than the alternative. This is how success becomes automatic. You don't need more willpower. You need less friction. You keep thinking the solution is more motivation. You keep believing you need a bigger reason. You keep hoping tomorrow will feel different. It won't. Motivation can't carry you through the day, but low friction can. Your brain is wired for efficiency. It's always searching for the easiest available path. If the path to your goals is cluttered, complicated, or confusing, your brain will pick something else. And here's the hard truth. It's not because you're weak. It's because you're human. The wealthy aren't superhuman. They just remove the obstacles that drain everyone else. Let's make it practical. Tiny obstacles, massive impact. You don't skip the gym because the workout is too hard. You skip it because you can't find your shoes, or your water bottle isn't clean, or your bag isn't packed, or the clothes you wanted to wear are in the laundry. You don't avoid starting your business because the idea is bad. You avoid it because your desk is cluttered, or your files are scattered, or your notes are disorganized, or your computer setup is annoying to use. You don't fail to eat healthy because you don't care. You fail because the healthy food isn't prepped. The ingredients aren't washed. The containers aren't clean. The fast option is easier. Your life is not determined by big choices. Your life is determined by micro frictions, the small, stubborn obstacles that accumulate until they kill your momentum. Your job is to hunt them down and eliminate them. The wealthy engineer their environments. Success is environmental. Behavior is environmental. Discipline is environmental. Every room you walk into is telling you what to do. The wealthy design their environments with intention. They don't wait for spontaneity. They engineer their surroundings so the right actions feel natural. They make good behaviors easier. They make bad behaviors harder. They turn success into the path of least resistance. Examples. They keep their workspace clear so starting work requires zero setup. They store healthy foods at eye level and junk foods out of reach or out of the house entirely. They automate where possible so decisions are eliminated before they appear. They pre-pack bags a night before to remove morning chaos. They create dedicated zones, work zones, rest zones, training zones, so the purpose is implied. The wealthy don't rely on strength. They rely on design. The 10-second rule, the fastest way to change your life. Here's a rule that will transform your behavior instantly. If a task takes more than 10 seconds to start, the average person won't do it consistently. And you are not an exception. You are not above psychology. You are not magically more disciplined than the human brain that evolved over 200,000 years. If greatness requires frictionless action, then your systems must follow the 10-second rule. Examples: putting your workout clothes out the night before, keeping your journal and pen on your pillow so you write before sleep, setting your laptop on your desk so you start work immediately, preloading projects so you can click once and begin, keeping water on your nightstand, laying out ingredients for the next morning's meal. Starting must be stupidly simple. Start simple, consistency, momentum, mastery. This is a formula. When you make starting easy, finishing becomes inevitable. Digital friction counts too. Your physical environment matters, but your digital environment might matter even more. Your phone has become your command center, your attention protector, or your attention destroyer. Digital friction sabotages millions of people daily. Remove it. Delete apps that suck you into endless scrolling. Rearrange your home screen so only productive tools remain. Use website blockers. Turn off notifications that don't matter. Unsubscribe from noise. Organize your files so you can find what you need in seconds. Every unnecessary notification is friction. Every disorganized file is friction. Every distracting app is friction. The wealthy protect their attention like a scarce asset because it is. Simplify decisions. Simplify your life. Complexity is resistance. Decision overload kills momentum. Simplify. Automate bills. Automate investments. Automate savings. Create meal templates. Create workout templates. Create daily routines. Use checklists for repeated tasks. Standardize your schedule. The fewer decisions you make, the more energy you have for action. The wealthy don't try to remember. They build systems so they never have to. Small friction removals that create giant results. These micro shifts matter. Put your vitamins next to your coffee machine. Keep your gym shoes by the door. Use one water bottle instead of 4. Keep your keys in a single location. Use one notebook for ideas instead of 10. Keep a launch pad by the door with everything you need daily. Schedule recurring tasks automatically. Your life is built on patterns. Patterns are built on ease. The easier the pattern, the stronger the consistency. What you must stop doing immediately. Stop pretending friction doesn't matter. Stop relying on willpower. Stop keeping cluttered environments. Stop allowing digital chaos. Stop doing tasks that require complex setup. Stop ignoring tiny obstacles. Stop waiting to feel ready. You are not losing because you lack discipline. You are losing because you allow friction to stay in your life. What you must start doing immediately. Put everything you need for tomorrow out tonight. Organize your digital life. Reduce your tools and simplify your setup. Batch similar tasks. Create physical zones of purpose. Make the right behavior stupidly easy. Make the wrong behavior inconvenient. Your brain follows the path of least resistance. Shape that path. Friction is the enemy of consistency. Consistency is the foundation of mastery. Mastery is the engine of wealth. Remove friction and success flows. Remove resistance and discipline becomes natural. Make your environment work for you and your life changes automatically. The wealthy aren't more driven. They're more engineered. They build lives where the right actions are easy and the wrong ones are hard. This is how you win. One friction point at a time. One simplification at a time. One redesigned environment at a time. Remove friction. Remove resistance. Remove excuses. And watch momentum appear. Chapter 9. Build networks at work while you rest. Success is never a solo act. Wealth is never built in isolation. An opportunity rarely appears out of thin air. It arrives through people. It arrives through relationships. It arrives through the rooms you enter, the circles you build, and the value loops you create. Wealthy thinkers understand this. They know that a powerful network is a machine, a system that works even when they're not working, a system that opens doors, solves problems, and accelerates progress without needing constant effort. Most people misunderstand networking. They think it's socializing. They think it's collecting business cards. They think it's adding random contacts on social media. No, real networking is architecture. You're not collecting people. You're building systems of value exchange that operate automatically. In this chapter, you will learn how wealthy people design networks that create opportunity even while they sleep. The network is the machine. You can build money machines. You can build time machines. But a network machine? That's the multiplier that takes everything else to the next level. A network machine requires 3 components. 1. Value created. You must bring something useful to the table: insight, skill, access, reliability, or execution. 2. Value exchange. Your relationships must grow through mutual benefit, not one-sided extraction. 3. Value circulated. Your network gains power when connections create new connections and opportunities pass freely through the system. Wealthy people don't just meet people. They build invisible pipelines where opportunities flow from node to node and eventually back to them, multiplied. This is why they appear lucky. It's not luck. It's infrastructure. The right room can replace years of effort. If you are in the wrong rooms, no amount of talent will save you. If you are in the right rooms, average effort can still create extraordinary results. One introduction can outperform 5 years of effort. One strategic alliance can produce more growth than 50 individual attempts. One mentor can collapse a decade of mistakes into a single conversation. This is why wealthy people pay to enter better rooms. They join masterminds. They attend private events. They invest in mentorship circles. They build alliances with people who expand their capabilities. They don't see it as networking. They see it as upgrading their environment. The room you're in either accelerates you or traps you. There is no neutral room. Relationships are systems, not random connections. Most people treat relationships like emotional decoration. Wealthy people treat relationships like strategic systems. Every connection has a function. Every relationship has a purpose. Every introduction has momentum attached. This doesn't mean people are used. It means people grow together. It means value loops are intentionally created. Value loops are ongoing cycles where everyone wins. For example, you share an opportunity with someone. They deliver. They send opportunities back. Trust compounds. Your network becomes stronger. This loop repeats automatically. That's how a network becomes a machine. No begging, no forcing, no manipulation, just well-designed relationships that continue producing opportunities effortlessly. The 3 network types you must build. To build a network that creates value while you rest, you need 3 types of connections: mentors, peers, and protégés. 1. Mentors, people above you. They collapse time. They eliminate false paths. They prevent costly mistakes. A 10-minute conversation with someone 10 years ahead is better than a year of trial and error. But here's the secret. Wealthy people don't ask mentors to save them. They make themselves easy to help. They don't show up with vague requests. They show up with clarity, preparation, and action. Mentors help those who help themselves. 2. Peers, people beside you. These are your accountability partners, your collaborators, your brainstormers, the people who keep pace with you. Peers sharpen your thinking. Peers reveal your blind spots. Peers challenge your standards. You grow faster when you grow alongside the right people. Your peers will become your partners, your co-creators, your referral engines. They are the backbone of a strong network. 3. Protégés, people behind you. Most people ignore this category. Wealthy thinkers don't. Helping people behind you builds reputation, authority, and long-term loyalty. When you uplift others, you strengthen your network's foundation. You also create allies who will remember you, support you, and build with you for years. A strong network flows up, down, and across. That's what makes it a system, not a stack. Connection compounds like interest. The most powerful truth in this chapter: relationships compound. The first time you meet someone, the value is small. The second time, it grows. The third time, it intensifies. After a year, your bond becomes leverage. After 5 years, your bond becomes a pipeline. The person you help today may be the person who changes your life in 3 years. The introduction you make today may be the introduction that earns you millions later. The collaboration you build this year may be the partnership that shapes your career. This is why wealthy people invest in relationships early, before it's useful, before it's needed, before it's urgent. They know the payoff comes later, and when it does, it's exponential. How to build a network that works while you rest. Let's get practical. 1. Be valuable first. Don't enter a relationship asking for something. Enter with something to offer: a resource, a skill, a solution, a connection, a recommendation. Give before you ask. Give before you need. Value first, always. 2. Create predictable touch points. Opportunities flow through consistency. Keep a simple list of people who matter. Reach out monthly or quarterly. Send insights. Share resources. Check in without asking for anything. You're staying on the radar. You're staying relevant. You're staying useful. That's how relationships stay alive. 3. Facilitate introductions. This is your superpower. Be the bridge between people who should know each other. Say, "I think you two would benefit from talking." That one sentence builds goodwill for years. Suddenly, you're not just someone in the network. You are a connector, and connectors become invaluable. 4. Participate in circles with high standards. Mastermind groups, skill cohorts, private communities, mentorship circles. The room is the leverage. Get in better rooms and your life speeds up. 5. Build systems around your relationships. Use structure. Keep notes on people's goals. Track important dates. Set reminders to follow up. Organize your contact list. This is mechanical networking, not emotional randomness. The wealthy treat relationships with operational precision. What to stop doing immediately. Stop asking for favors before providing value. Stop disappearing for months and expecting connection to survive. Stop pretending you don't need people. Stop trying to network up without mastering network across. Stop wasting time in low-value rooms. Stop hoarding opportunities. Share them and multiply them. Your network is a garden. Neglect destroys it. Nurture expands it. What to start doing immediately. Start building a list of key relationships. Start adding value to others proactively. Start showing up consistently. Start making introductions weekly. Start joining communities that elevate your standards. Start becoming the person people want to recommend. Because here's the final truth of this chapter. The person with the strongest network wins. Not the smartest person. Not the most talented person. Not the hardest worker. The person who is connected to the right opportunities, the right people, and the right rooms. Build networks that work while you rest. And your life will move forward even when you're standing still. Chapter 10. Make success inevitable, the wealth machine mindset. Success is not an accident. It's not luck. It's not timing. It's not manifestation. Success is engineered, designed, constructed piece by piece, until the only possible outcome is progress. This is a wealth machine mindset. You stop hoping. You start predicting. You stop chasing motivation. You start building systems that make motivation irrelevant. You stop relying on willpower. You start relying on infrastructure. The wealthy don't gamble on self-discipline. They don't pray for inspiration. They don't wait for a perfect moment. They build a machine that produces a result. Every day, without fail. Let's break down how you make success inevitable. Part 1. Your results aren't random. They're built. If your outcome changes every week, it's because your systems are inconsistent. If your habits rise and fall, it's because your environment isn't structured. If your money grows and then collapses, it's because your routines aren't stable. The wealthy understand this. Randomness is the enemy. Predictability is the weapon. Look at any high performer, a surgeon, a CEO, a top athlete, a Navy pilot. None of them depend on guesswork. Everything is a protocol. Everything is standardized. Everything is deliberate. The same applies to wealth. The same applies to your life. Most people wing it. That's why they lose. You're building something different, a life where your systems outperform your mood. Part 2. Remove the element of hope from your goals. Hope is not a strategy. Hope is what people use when they lack order. You will not hope your way to financial freedom. You will not hope your way to a powerful body. You will not hope your way to a disciplined mind. You engineer it. You build routines that make failure almost impossible. You design your days in a way that removes friction. You build networks that feed you opportunities without effort. You automate your money until wealth becomes a default outcome. You lock in identity-based habits that reinforce who you are. Success becomes inevitable because you remove every structural reason you use to fail. Part 3. Define the destination, then build the machine. Start with a simple question. What result do I want to become unavoidable? Do you want consistent income? Do you want a healthier body? Do you want constant creativity? Do you want a stronger network? Pick the outcome. Then build a machine that guarantees it. For example, desired outcome. Grow a business machine, daily lead generation routine, weekly content batching, automated onboarding, consistent client follow-up. Desired outcome. Save money machine, automatic transfers, fixed spending limits, weekly financial review. Desired outcome. Get stronger machine, pre-packed gym bag, fixed workout schedule, simple meal prep routine. You don't try to succeed. You don't attempt a new lifestyle. You build a repeatable engine that produces a result regardless of your mood. Think like an engineer. Think like a systems designer. Think like someone who refuses to leave their future to chance. Part 4. Systems beat talent. The world loves to exaggerate talent, but talent is chaotic. Talent is inconsistent. Talent burns out. Systems never burn out. That's why average people with powerful systems outperform talented people who rely on emotion. You've seen this with entrepreneurs who aren't brilliant but are consistent, with fitness influencers who aren't genetically gifted but never miss a day, with writers who aren't literary geniuses but publish like clockwork. Consistency scales. Chaos collapses. You're not aiming for explosive effort. You're aiming for repeatable excellence. Success becomes inevitable when the process is stronger than the person. Part 5. Automate what you can't trust yourself with. This is where the wealthy separate themselves. They know their weaknesses. They design systems that bypass them. If they can automate it, they automate it. If they can delegate it, they delegate it. If they can schedule it, they schedule it. They don't rely on memory. They don't rely on willpower. They don't rely on trying harder. They build rails around the path, so the only direction is forward. Your future must not depend on how disciplined you feel next Tuesday. Your future must depend on the structures you set up today. Automate your finances. Automate your savings. Automate your posting schedule. Automate your reminders. Automate your workflows. Let the machines do the heavy lifting. Your job is to design the system, not to fight your impulses every day. Part 6. Build feedback loops that force growth. The wealthy don't guess if they're improving. They measure, track, review, adjust. Your system needs feedback loops that tell you what's working, what's failing, what needs to be optimized. Weekly reviews, daily checkpoints, monthly resets. Small corrections prevent major breakdowns. Continuous feedback ensures continuous growth. The machine operates smoothly because you maintain it. You don't wait for something to break. You stay ahead of problems. Part 7. Surround yourself with machine-minded people. The right network multiplies your systems. The wrong network destroys them. If you spend time around people who live chaotically, you absorb chaos. If you spend time around people who operate with precision, you absorb precision. Your circle should include people building things, people who think long-term, people who respect time, people who love structure, people who make opportunities flow. Success becomes inevitable when your environment reinforces your intentions. A strong network isn't a luxury, it's a multiplier. Part 8. Think like a builder, not a hoper. Here's the mindset shift. Stop asking, how do I stay motivated? Start asking, how do I build a system that makes motivation irrelevant? Stop asking, how do I avoid failure? Start asking, how do I design a structure where failure is hard to reach? Stop asking, how do I get more discipline? Start asking, how do I remove the friction that makes discipline difficult? This is the wealth machine mindset. The mindset that turns dreams into checklists, goals into routines, progress into inevitability. Part 9. Make success your default setting. Your life is a machine. You either design it or you let it design itself. If it designed itself, it will pull you toward distraction, comfort, laziness, impulse, chaos. But if you design it, it will pull you toward growth, focus, money, health, discipline, legacy. You no longer wake up hoping to stay on track. The track carries you. That's what we're building. That's what makes success predictable. That's what makes success inevitable. Message of the final chapter. Stop playing the motivation game. Stop playing the try harder game. Stop playing the hope things improve game. You are past that stage. You are becoming the type of person who engineers outcomes, who designs their life, who builds wealth like an architect builds a skyscraper, deliberately, structurally, predictably. Hope is replaced by systems. Emotion is replaced by structure. Chaos is replaced by clarity. Build the machine. Run the machine. Trust the machine. And success will stop being a possibility and start being your baseline. You've reached the end of this audiobook, and by now, you understand the shift that separates those who struggle from those who grow consistently. Wealth isn't built on sudden bursts of motivation or random goals. It's built on systems, routines, and structures that keep working even on the days you don't feel inspired. If you take one lesson from this book, let it be this. Don't chase outcomes. Build a machine that produces them. Create habits that move without effort, workflows that reduce friction, and processes that repeat with reliability. When your systems become strong, your results stop depending on willpower. They become automatic. Thank you for listening, and thank you for spending your time with Growth Listen. If this audiobook served you, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. It truly helps support the journey and allows more people to grow alongside you. Keep learning, keep improving, and keep building the machines that will shape your future.